Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today I got a first place deck profile for you from the the Clash of Rebellion Winamax at the Castle. I was playing new deck Clownblade. It's been running around in the OCG for a while now, and just recently got all this stuff to make it in the TCG. So I thought I'd try it out. We do not have the Bobble Chain in the TCG. That was a hit on the most recent ban list, and it definitely hurt the power of the deck. But regardless, I thought I'd try it out. And one last preface, I built this deck a few days before the tournament, and I had never played the deck before at all, so I did not know my matchups. I didn't know anything hardly about the deck. It was completely brand new to me on the day. So let's just go ahead and get into it, and I'll go over some stuff as I go. So we got one Thunder King Rai-oh to start things off. Just solid monster. I mean, it's basically just a rank 4 deck that plays just a bunch of powerful level 4s / things to make plays with. So I mean, why not play this guy? One Zephyros. This guy makes some really good plays. He helps us recycle continuous traps mostly. I don't think I have any continuous spells, but and then also dealing the 400 damage is what allows him to combo with the next guy, Heroic Challenger Thousand Blades. This is of course one of the main dudes, one of the main engines of the deck. While he's in your graveyard, if you take damage from anything, really, you special summon him in attack mode. So if he's in your graveyard and Zephyros is in your graveyard, you can just straight play out of your graveyard by bouncing any face-up card you have, specialing him, you take the 400, and then you special this guy, and then bam, rank 4. So Zephyros is a super solid one of. And then Thousand Blades, only one. Might up it to 2 going forward, I might try it at least, but 1 is, I mean, practically all you need. 2 Effect Veilers, I basically never use them. I used it like one time, and just, yeah, I was glad to have them, because it makes you feel safer in case of Denko Sekkas or just other things, but I mean, I never really used them, so I don't know. Might could cut them, I don't know. 2 Maxx's, I also pretty much never use these. I mostly didn't fight things that they're good against. Fought like Pleaides and some other stuff. I don't even remember, but yeah. And then I only played 2 Mathematician, and I horribly regretted it because this is like one of the greatest cards to open with, being that, you know, we don't have the Bobble Chain, so this is like our monster version of the Bobble Chain, more or less. Like, every time I got this guy going, it was just so good for me. So I definitely would suggest playing 3 of it. But especially because, like, when he dies, you draw a card, and that is really huge. Especially because if he dies, you take damage, you draw a card, and you can, like, special back your Thousand Blades, or your Mathematician dump Zephyros, use Zephyros to bounce your Mathematician, and then special it and blah blah blah, get some reuse your Mathematician again later. 2 Juragedo. Fairly new card from Duelist Pack Battle City. This guy is amazing. You know, he gives us 1,000 life points back, which is helpful to pay for our combos and stuff, because it's all about taking damage to ourselves. He's a special summonable monster. You can tribute it to boost somebody by 1,000. Just really solid. And then 3 Heroic Challenger Assault Halberd. Special summonable, nice beat stick, piercing. Super solid. Helps us search out himself or 1,000 Blades to get stuff going. And then we have the Performage lineup, which I decided to just try out 2 of each of them. Some builds, like in the OCG at least, played 2 of each, or some builds played 3 of each, and just various ratios. So I thought I'd just try 2 of each. That's what I really had room for. So 2 Trick Clowns, just absolutely the best one. This is the one that gets the plays going. When he's sent, you basically revive himself and then take 1,000 damage, and then of course because you took damage, your Assault Halberd comes back. So just practically infinite rank 4 plays. 2 Damage Jugglers. This guy's super solid. He searches for the Performages, and he's like a Karibo for battle damage or effect damage. Excuse me. And then 2 Performage Hat Trickers. This guy's pretty good. He's basically just because, you know, if 2 or more monsters are on the field, counting your opponents as well, you can special summon it, so he helps to make rank 4s easier. But that's it for the monsters. So onto the spells. We got 1 Raigeki, just staple stuff. 1 Book of Moon. 1 Foolish Burial, really helps getting the plays going, of course. 1 Soul Charge, just super helpful. I mean, all rank 4 decks pretty much should be playing Soul Charge in my opinion. Like Tellarknights and all the rest of them. And then 3 OVs, 3 MSTs. I just like playing 3 MSTs and everything, and 3 Rotas to search out either Assault Halberd or Thousand Blades. So that is it for the spells. On to the traps. We got 1 Vanity's Emptiness, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, all pretty standard stuff. 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Torrential Tribute. So there's your one-ofs. Solid. 2 mistakes. I was so glad I main decked these because I played against like Pleaides, Necros, all kinds of things that they were really good against. 2 breakthrough skills. These are the reason I lost to Klee game 1 every time, because I kept drawing these every time. But you know, it happens. It's a dead card against them, so you decide it out. But aside from that, I mean, it's breakthrough skill. It's a great card. And then lastly, 2 Fiendish Chains. Wish I was playing a 3rd one, probably. I feel like I would probably up that to 3. Not 100% sure what I would take out, but gonna have to look over everything. Because it combos super well with Zephyros. You can bounce this with Zephyros to get to reuse it later, as well as get Zephyros a special summon and get your plays going. So yeah, that's the main deck. It was pretty solid. Maybe some few changes here or there, maybe some ratio changes. But next we have the extra deck. We got 1 Trishula, the only synchro I played, and this was just because I decided to put Veilers and Trishulas in at the last minute, just because Veiler and then 2 of the level 4s, which we can special summon a lot of level 4s, so just Veiler and 2 level 4s, you can make a Trishula. I was like, hey, why not give some use to my Veilers against something like Pleaides or something where they're otherwise useless. Never actually made it though. It's a cool thought, but never made it. 1 Stellarknight Constellar Diamond. This card's amazing. Definitely got to play it for Shaddolls and whatever. That's how I won my Shaddol matchup and whatever. 1 Constellar Pleaides. This is these are our rank 5s that we can slap on top of what's his face, Ptolemaeus. Yeah, I forgot his name. Sorry. So yeah, Pleaides, super solid. That was really good for me. That's what won me game 3 against the Pleaides in the finals. So it's a good card. 1 Wind Up Arsenal Zenmaioh. I never made this card. I came close, but I never actually made it. So probably would end up cutting that. There are a lot of things I wish I'd had today in my extra deck, and I just could not find the room for them. So I'll take a look at which ones I didn't use and probably cut them for some of the things that I wish I'd had. But like I said, it was completely untested. So 1 Bujinki Amaterasu, and this I'm so glad I put it in. That was an incredible decision on my part because I played against Necros and I opened setting my Thousand Blades and like some spells or traps or whatever, and they decisive armored my Thousand Blades, so it just completely shut off the whole Clownblade play pretty much. And so I mean, later into the game I was able to make this and this special back my Thousand Blades and get my plays going again. So this card's super good, and it can on your opponent's turn it can get you back your banished damaged jugglers to your hand. So he's super good for the deck. 1 Delteros. We summon a lot of level 4s obviously with this deck, so I mean things that require 3 level 4s, no big deal. You can get a bunch on the field, get summoned pretty easy. Which next one, 1 Ptolemaeus. I don't know if I'd play 2. I think 1 is fine for now at least. I guess if I played more rank 5s I'd play 2, but I'll say why a little bit later. But yeah, which there was actually against the Pleaides, I had to detach, using the effect, I had to attach a Delteros and the Diamond from my extra deck to him to then use to slap the Pleiades on top of him to have enough materials to use his effect and stuff. So that part is actually helpful. But next we have Diamond Dire, just the 1 Diamond Dire Wolf. Good spot removal, ways to deal with floodgates and whatever else. So that was super good to have on the day. 1 Exciton Knight, just must have for rank 4 decks. Field wipe. That's how we went against Pleaides pretty much. And then I was playing 2 Daigusto Emeralds. This is just because I can spawn the level 4s almost infinitely with the Assault Halberd and the Trick Clown going. So with this, I can just recycle my extra deck monsters, and then you basically just go on almost indefinitely. All that matters is your opponent's stuff. So that's why I only had a lot of 1-ofs in the extra deck, is just because Daigusto Emerald recycles them back. But 1 Castell, same as Diamond Dire, good spot removal, etc. One Abyss Dweller, one Cowboy, standard stuff, and then one Performage Trapeze Magician. This guy is actually really good and really cool. Basically, anytime you have level 4s and you just there's nothing to do or whatever the case, you can just make this guy. Like if you have nothing better to make or whatever, you can make this guy. And he's a 2500 beat stick, so he can kill a fair amount of things. And what's really good, one of the cool interactions that I didn't get to resolve, but oh well, you can use the effect to make somebody attack twice on your turn. So you can make your Assault Halberd attack twice, and then for each of those attacks that he deals damage, you get a search for a heroic. So you can end up getting 2 searches. So it makes up for him ending up dying at the end of the battle phase, but it's really cool. On the sideboard, excuse me. Onto the sideboard, one Arcfiend Eccentric. This I wouldn't recommend it. This was literally just because I got the card and I love this card so much, so I was just like, hey, I gotta play this. Basically, it's just a generic card for any matchup that if I have too many dead cards that I need to side out of, then I'll just sideboard out of them into this. Against Pleaides, I had a lot of dead cards, so I'd side out of them into her, and she's just generically good. That was my reasoning behind it. 2 Kaikus for Necros and Infernaloids and other potential things. Those are really the big ones. I thought those were going to be more prevalent, I guess, but oh well. The 1 Compulse, because I always side Compulse, because I never seem to find room for it in the main deck. I'm just weird like that. 1 Needle Stealing. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about board wipes as much with this deck, because I can usually just get my field all right back. So I figured, hey, why not have another Torrential, pretty much, that I can activate at any time if I meet the requirements. So I mean, I don't think I ever actually resolved it or anything, so it might be something to cut. 2 Blackhorns for the Klee matchup, and oh my goodness, this was amazing. Like, just, yeah, sideboard 2 of these. It's really good right now. For Klees, for the mirror match, for Tellarknights, for just all kinds of stuff. Ritual Beasts, I mean, just all kinds of stuff. Super good to have. 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance for like Necros, Klees, whatever. I'm just kind of about this card right now in the format. I might change it for something else. 2 Debunks for just in case of like rogue decks, things with like hands, volcanics, Shadalls, Burning Abyss, you know, just any of that stuff in the grave, even Necros with their hand effects and whatever. But yeah, I didn't really use it like at all, I don't think. 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror for Shadal / Burning Abyss. And lastly, 2 Stygian Dirge. So I just figured I'd go over the sideboard, because the sideboard was the biggest part where I kind of failed on, more or less. Like I said, I wasn't sure of what my matchups were, and so my sideboard was just kind of poor. Like I ended up having I sideboarded for matchups that were already good for me, so I didn't actually need the sideboard cards for them, and I didn't sideboard enough for matchups that were really bad for me. So like fighting against Klees and Shadalls were just horrendous for me today. I managed to play through it, but it was very difficult. It was very tough. But so yeah, I would say the biggest changes need to come in the sideboard, and then taking a look at like a few things in the extra deck, like adding another Fiendish Chain. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed it, and that's the deck. It'll be in the deck. It'll be in the deck list will be in the description below. So yep, make sure to like it.